Are we both in?
Yeah, we should both be in shot.
Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario, I can always just crop it and edit, I guess.
You've got a real sort of going on with your hair at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it needs a good wash, actually.
Probably.
Sorry. Lecturing.
Yeah, well, whatever. You're my mum, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello everybody, and welcome back. I'm the Raider, obviously, and you've met her before. This is my mother.
Her. Met her before.
No, this is my mother, and she's taken part in, as I said, I think like 2 videos now.
I can't remember. I know we played a game in Mortal Kombat when your dad was.
Yeah, we played with Dad, and then we also did one.
I beat him.
You did, I'm fairly certain. But then we also filmed one for my birthday as well.
Yes,
which was on Mortal Kombat 11.
Right.
We do need to bring that back at some point because I've still got to finish that series with Paul and everyone.
I do like Mortal Kombat as well.
Yeah.
But it's like the only sort of game, well, not the only game, but it's the sort of, because I'm a bit anti-technology.
It's not really the anti-technology. You do use technology quite a lot, but
I don't. I'm terrified of AI, and I'm terrified of how social media is going to a point where I'm withdrawing off of social media.
Oh no, yeah, a lot of people are doing the same thing. I mean, even I've started withdrawing from some of my social media platforms, even if they're mostly for the channel.
No, it's different. I think if you've got like an interest in it and stuff like that, like Paul, Nathan's stepdad.
Yes, I don't know whether Paul's actually. Yeah, Paul's in a few of my older videos, so yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he hasn't made any recent appearances on the channel, but I am planning to change that at some point.
It's always at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know Paul does like ones for when we played Airsoft.
Or when you guys did ghost hunting, which again you haven't done in a while.
I know he's interested in getting a channel up and running because we do van life. Yay!
Yeah.
We've got our own little camper van and love going out in that, so he might start up a channel with that. But yeah, just all this sort of stuff terrifies the poop out of me.
Just if anybody does want to go and check out any of his channels or anything, I'll put links and everything in the description to all of his channels.
Yeah.
It's just a way that they can click on it and just go straight to the channel.
I do watch YouTube just because I don't participate.
You made it abundantly clear you don't watch me though.
I have watched your videos.
You said in the last video that we did that my videos weren't your style.
No, they're not my style. I don't particularly. The only reason I ever watch any kind of gamers is if Paul's got them on the telly. Well, I personally don't watch like the gamers things. It's fly buzzing around. So.
But yeah, so with everything that we just said, there'll be links below to my stepfather's channels. They will be. Yeah.
That was very posh.
What's his Call Sign Reaper? I believe it was Call Sign Reaper. So.
What for the channel?
Yeah.
No, he's Airsoft Rangers.
Airsoft Rangers.
Rangers for the Airsoft channel. There hasn't been anything recently because I've been ill and we've had injuries and other stuff going on in our life. So
in my previous videos, I have said there has been a lot going on, and that's mostly the reason I haven't been uploading recently or consistently. And I haven't gone into detail, and I will not go into detail because it's not something that needs to be said online.
It's family stuff, so it's we've sort of put our lives on a bit of hold.
Sort of, and that is actually what I am here to talk about today, and that is mostly because in the 8 years that the channel has been running, I haven't actually mentioned much about who I actually am. So what I've done...
Oh, I've got the answers to that.
A moron. I know exactly what you're going to say before you even say it.
No, I could prove who you are. I've got your birth certificate. Well, I haven't got your birth certificate.
I've got my birth certificate.
Yeah.
But either way, no, I wanted to bring my mum into the video to, I guess not verify, but maybe bring up some of the stories that I didn't really remember as a kid. And she's got plenty.
And I'm old, so I remember.
And she's also got some picture proof of some of these, which at an appropriate time when the story comes up, they will be put either above our heads or to the side or wherever I see fit.
Yeah, because there are some funny photos of you.
Yeah. So we'll track them down, and yeah. So
what does so we start off with, how would you describe yourself in this moment. So at 21 years old, nearly forgot how old you were then.
Trust me, I wish I could forget how old I am. But
Forget how old I was. At 21 years old, how would you describe yourself?
I would say that I am. I would say that I have and always will be brash. As
Brash?
in, I will always have a sort of, not a chaotic, but a very sudden side of me that will just appear and do random shit.
Yeah, but that's because you take after me in that respect.
No. So when we get into like some of the stories later on, you will kind of see what I mean. I have always been. Well, you used to describe me as unpredictable.
You're still well, you are more predictable now, but that's only because obviously 21 years later I've learned how to deal with you.
To someone who doesn't know me, to probably someone like you guys who have seen me play games and things, you could probably guess a little bit, but I did have a very unpredictable nature about me. And yeah, it got me in a lot of trouble, which we will also be going over some of the stories later on in the video, and maybe even make a part 2 to finish off some of the stories.
Right. So you're one of your words to describe yourself at this very moment in time at 21 years old is brash.
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. Do you know how to spell that?
Yes.
Okay. Checking.
But yes, I have had some things happen to me that I did want to cover in a video purely because I feel like my experiences could help other people in a similar situation. Or similar scenarios, be it family or personal matters. Yeah. So I can't remember when I actually got diagnosed. The first diagnosis.
So if we start off like almost telling your life story, as it were.
Yeah.
A very clipped version, but so you are my second child.
Yes,
so
I am one of 3, technically 5. But
yeah, we have a lot of blended families. So
just from when I was born, it was me and 2 siblings, and one of them is my full blood brother, which I'm pretty sure you will remember in some older videos. His name online will be Passable.
Passable, that's it. I can remember.
And he used to do streaming. I'm not entirely sure whether he still does, but
you'll catch me on one of his streams as well on. Not Snitch. What's it called?
Snitch.
What's it called? Twitch. Is it Twitch?
Twitch TV. Yes.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, because he was playing a game in the middle of the night and really loud because he had headphones on. And he woke me up, and I went in and I went, "Will you shut the fuck up?" Oh, sorry. Can I swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
Will you shut the fuck up? And he went, "Mum, I'm live streaming on Twitch," and there was all these people watching him. And I was like, "Oh, whoops." Shut up.
But yeah, he did some streams on things like Overwatch, Phasmophobia, stuff like that. Yeah. And I have also done some streaming as well as one of my other brothers.
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan does some streams every now and then.
And then you've got a younger brother who's just turned 18.
Yep.
Who doesn't really do stuff like that.
No, so. He does have a storefront though. Or not storefront, but he does have a online shop, shall we say, and he does do like craft fairs in the area.
Yeah.
What's his thing?
Sammy's Crochet Corner. You can go onto Instagram.
Sammy's Crochet Corner. Yeah.
And he does commissions too, so it's all crochet toys and everything else. So.
Yeah, so give him a look. Yeah. I've seen some of his stuff. I mean, half of it is dotted all around the house. So.
Pretty much, yeah. I can see 3 things alone. I'm sitting here, so 4.
Yeah, I was going to say I count 4. But this family is very creative, and at certain points, I didn't feel like I really fit in because I have never really been creative. I've always been the more destructive one.
You created destruction.
Yes. I used to be very bold and very daring to the point where I would genuinely end up hurting myself testing various different activities. And
basically, Nathan was the middle one of 3 that are all quite close in age as well.
There is like a year and a half. There's like a half a year or like a year and a half between me and Liam,
and then 3 years between me and the younger one. So yeah, it's So Nathan was a very challenging toddler.
I was what was known as a troubled child.
No, you weren't a troubled child. You as a toddler, he didn't have any fear of anything. Not normal fear, like. So we were in a friend's garden, talking, and the kids were all playing on like the swing set thing, and I feel weird looking at a camera. It's really weird.
Yeah, I know, you get used to it.
I'm just not used to stuff.
You do get used to it.
No eye contact. Wonder where he gets the autism and the ADHD from.
That is another thing I will be covering.
We will cover that. So as a toddler, we were around a friend's house, and we were in the garden, and the kids were on the swing. We were all talking and playing and whatever else, and stupid me stopped watching you for 2 seconds straight, and all of a sudden we look up, and you're walking across the top of the bar that everybody was swinging on, and you were just walking across it. And that was about, I'd say, 7-8 foot up in the air.
So
spent the entirety of my cousin's wedding up a tree or sliding across the hotel floors.
Hey, our cousins kind of.
Yeah, I know.
They kind of influence that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like blast them online because
you will get payback.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
My cousins were the typical older cousins by about 5-6 years, and they were always known as the pranksters. And
Still are,
but they were their own little.
So I ended up pulling my hair out nearly over you because no matter what I said to you or showed you or tried to help you, you just never saw fear. So for the first couple of years of your life, when you started walking, I had to put almost like reins on you. We've had Tesco's closed down 4 times because they'd done a runner while we were shopping.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of background, I have always been around a family that was always very much express yourself and don't hide and be the black sheep, pretty much.
Not be the black sheep, but just don't follow the crowd. Don't be a white sheep. Don't follow the crowd. That was what I've taught all 3 of you.
Yeah.
Is if you don't feel comfortable following the crowd, don't do it.
Yeah. So. And we've always been a family that has grown up in the countryside. I mean, you didn't grow up in the countryside, but my 2 siblings, we were born and raised in the country.
Yeah, we've always lived in villages, and so I grew up in a city, and I didn't want the same thing for my kids, and I'm glad Nathan didn't grow up in a city, because I think your life would have turned out very, very
vastly
different. You'd have either been in prison or dead.
Probably, but the reason that we're going through all this is because I understand that, because I do know there are people that watch my videos that are quite young, to the point where they're like 16, 17, and you're just in the point where you're making either bad decisions and not really caring about them. So just so you know, it probably has just gone a little bit dark. The sun is disappearing, but you will probably be in the stage of your life where all of my videos where it's all about killing things and getting the guns and stuff like that, like, they seem appealing, but you need to understand who you are before you make any rash decisions like that. So,
can I just interject here as well?
Yeah.
Teenagers always make mistakes. Parents should understand that. I made lots of mistakes as a teenager. Kids always make mistakes. That is how they learn and grow and become confident and learn from their mistakes and all of that.
Yeah. So
you very much had a lot of learning from your mistakes. Yes, it was difficult when you were little. Now you're older, and I can obviously talk you down now if you're in a rage. When you were younger, you were inconsolable.
That's another thing that I need to cover as well, is anger.
Yeah.
So, just to get a base start out of the way, you know that my name is Nathan, and I'm 21 years old, and I have been diagnosed both ADHD and autistic. Which, admittedly, when I first heard the ADHD thing, I was in high school, I believe.
No, you weren't.
Was I in primary school?
So what year did you move to the other school? Not naming schools and stuff like that, but you moved to
No, we're not naming
school.
schools because we'll get
year 3?
sued or something.
Because I think Liam started in year 4. You started in year 3.
I started in year 3, but I started on moving day, so I started technically in year 3, but then instantly moved up to year 4.
Right. Okay. So you were in school. So you were at your old school was rubbish.
Yeah.
The new school picked up within 2 weeks that there was an issue, and that's when they started the process for the diagnosis. So you were, I don't know how old you are in year 3, 4.
Probably not more than
10.
7.
No.
No, 10 is 11 is when you go into high school.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
So
yeah,
I would have been like
10,
6 or
9,
7.
8, something like that. Anyway, yeah. So you're 6 or 7, and within 2 weeks they sort of went, "Oh, there's an issue. We need to sort of look at him. Have you ever thought about maybe he's got ADHD or stuff like that?" I was one of those parents. I was like, I didn't believe in ADHD. Kids who have, this was my opinion back then. Kids who have ADHD, it's just bad parenting. But actually, when you've got 3 children and 2 of them are, I'm not going to say normal because that's a really, I hate that, normal. 2 kids that were average, they're told they were naughty, but they still learn from things. But then you've got 1 child that just won't listen. So yeah, it was one of those things. It took me a while to go, oh my god, maybe he has got ADHD. Then maybe that is the issue. Maybe it's not my bad parenting.
Yeah, and I would just like to say, having ADHD doesn't mean your life is over.
No.
I mean, there are plenty of successful people that have it, and there are plenty of people similar to me who make videos on here. I mean, if you look at popular YouTubers, people like Jacksepticeye, he has been diagnosed with it as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He got diagnosed with it as well, and I mean, look at him. He's making millions by the fucking day.
It doesn't. ADHD is just a lot of. It's start again, right?
It's got a bad stigma.
It's more. People are more aware of it now because of social media and stuff like that. Whereas 10 years ago, yes, it was known about, but it did seem to be that as soon as you had a naughty child, oh, they must be ADHD. That's not true either.
No, it's not.
20 years ago, it was even more rare that, those kids ended up in special needs classes and all that sort of stuff.
Which I was also in as well.
Yeah, and 40 years ago, it was unheard of for girls to be diagnosed with ADHD. Whereas I am now at nearly 50, having to be assessed whether I've got ADHD because it was never picked up when I was a kid.
So
it's a superpower.
You can call it that, but when you first hear that you get the diagnosis, like it does feel like your world's kind of crumbling a little.
Yeah.
And I mean, even when I got diagnosed being autistic, that was a fair few years after when I was actually an adult and could comprehend it.
That was because of COVID.
Yes,
it took so long to get a diagnosis.
It took 6 years to get a diagnosis through.
You were 18 when you were diagnosed.
Yes, I was, because the people called you, saying speak to the parents and carer of Nathan Denyer, and
he's 18 now.
I was 18, and they had no idea. So, and also being autistic, that's not the end of the world either.
It's a different way of looking at things.
It does. I mean, it does separate me from a bunch of people, but nowadays everybody's jumping on that bandwagon saying that they have it when they don't.
Yeah, no, but there's also a lot of people now that are more aware of it, and that is why more diagnoses happen. And you're thinking, 100 years ago, people who are autistic or ADHD or non-verbal autistic or whatever else, they'd get shoved into like asylums or or even taken into the woods and just set free. Yeah. So it is more. People have more understanding of it now as well, I think.
Yeah. But with all this being said about what my past was like, I don't want this video to be a glum video or anything like that.
No.
But I just wanted to say that even if you are going through tough times, be it with medical or mental issues, like, it's not to the point where you need to give up. So, like, I mean, do what you love. I make videos every single day that I can. I don't do it because I get thousands of views every single video. I'm lucky if one of my videos gets 50. But the whole point of it is that I know that people watch them, and even making one person laugh from my videos, that's enough for me to keep making them. So, if you want to make YouTube videos, go for it. If you want to make music, go for it. Right? Nothing is genuinely stopping you, apart from your own mind. And that is something that I've had to realise recently as well, with obviously things happening to the family. And I have realised that it is more mind over matter.
Yeah.
So, as I said, if you want to do videos, if you want to do music, if you want to do game design, if you want to do, I don't know, if you want to join the army, do whatever you want and do it full force. Because the only person that will stop you is yourself.
Sorry, I just realised I was meant to be doing like marching soldiers, but then realised I was actually.
Kind of makes you look like you're celebrating a little.
No, it makes me like I'm dancing like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Done that stupid little dance, didn't they?
Oh yeah, he's done plenty.
But yeah. Anyway, I'm not talking about that because he's an idiot.
Yeah. Hang on. We'll just check.
Your butt crack showing.
Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Yeah. Sorry for that little jump cut there. Just making sure that everything is actually working rather than being a terrible storage system. But either way. Yeah, shut up.
It's your
So-
hair when you get that line across.
We
Yeah.
sit in a very similar way. I've only just noticed this.
There are a lot of similarities. I know I'm 4'0" and you're like a Yeti, but
I'm 5'11".
there is a lot of similarities. And surprisingly, because there is half of my DNA there.
Yeah.
Oh.
The other half ain't that good.
Oh, don't say that.
No, I'm kidding. I love him.
Mm.
But no, so with everything that we've just said in the first like 15, 20-ish minutes of this video, I wanted to go over a few stories that are fairly fond in this family and I get reminded of all the bloody time, and things like the stairgate.
That was Liam. Liam's got a thing
That was
about that.
me.
Yeah, no, that was you that went through the stairgate, but that's Liam that always brings that up. I can't really remember it that well, but yeah, Nathan was very destructive when he was little, and
I would fall down the stairs all the time.
Yeah.
I would at least like 3 times a year. You're talking from the age of
and
like
not just slip
4.
down the stairs like duff, 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 duff,
Yeah,
down
not
the
like
stairs.
not like miss a step where you're walking up and then you like
Yeah.
realise that your toes are just on the edge of it and you slip a little. I mean, as in I went like full force down these things like a ballistic missile.
It was funny though, but Nathan ended up in A&E so many times. They'd started writing on his notes 3rd time, 4th time, 5th time.
We knew the lady at the reception, but on a first name basis.
Pretty much, yeah. You've got multiple scars. You've got a scar right in your unibrow.
Yes, I have had a comment about the scars on my face at one point.
Yeah.
And a funny little thing, if you shaved my head completely bald, you would also notice 3, not massive scars, but scars big enough to see quite prominently on the back and tops of my head.
That's my worst. Sorry. Right, that's my worst story. Is that one on your back of your head?
Yeah.
So had a friend round with her children, a couple of other people, all kids happy playing in the back garden. Hear a lady screaming.
Bearing in mind the back garden that we had wasn't exactly massive.
No, it wasn't very big back garden.
It was like probably not even bigger than the room that we're sitting in.
Yeah, it wasn't very big. But yeah, so they were all playing, and there was a load of screaming coming from the back garden. We were like, as parents, what's wrong? Nathan was about 3, nearly 4 years old, and all I heard was he's bleeding. He came into the back door, and like I say, he was only tiny.
I have very limited memory of this, by the way.
He came in the back door, and I sort of grabbed him and looked from where he was bleeding, and as I sort of let go, I was covered in blood. Nathan then went, "Mummy, you're bleeding," and you used to call me Mummy.
Yeah, I know.
"Mummy, you're bleeding." I was like, "No, it's not me." And as I looked down, he had a pool of blood all around his feet that was getting bigger and bigger. It was like something out of a horror movie. And I spun him round, and out the back of his head, it was going, it was gushing.
Yeah, it was pulsating.
So grabbed the first thing I could, which happened to be a tea towel, and threw it over his head.
Probably not the cleanest material to use.
Well, that's all I had.
Yeah, I know.
You're all right. You didn't catch an infection or anything, did you?
No.
You're fine. Moaning. So yeah, so I tried to stop the bleeding. And what he'd actually done, so we called an ambulance and waiting for them to turn up. What he'd actually done was he'd been climbing on a little plastic climbing frame thing that we had. He realised he could reach the fence from there, and then started to climb up a 6-foot fence. And as he got to the top, I think the other kids said that he fell backwards, and we had
when she says fall backwards, it means my hands were like this, and I fell completely backwards.
Yeah, he fell backwards completely. Landed on some concrete which had a stone sticking up out of it, and that stone
had pierced the back of my head. The
back of your head, not your skull.
That is another thing. I have always had a rather thick skull, and
we call it the Homer Simpson effect.
Yes, I have always had bones. I mean, I've had multiple injuries, possibly more than most people in like any recent area.
You've never broken anything.
I've never broken a bone.
I've got quite dense bones as well.
Yeah.
The only things I've ever broken is my nose and fingers and toes. So.
Yeah, you also had a pencil go through your mouth at one point.
Yeah, that didn't break anything, did it?
No, it went through all the soft tissue.
Right.
But
yeah. So anyway, so Nathan had fallen on this hole, this concrete stone thingy.
Yeah, it was like it was like when we used to have like clotheslines and things. Like you'd always concrete the middle bit or something like that, and one of them just had a stone that was sticking up.
So he landed on it and came running in, and like I say the blood was gushing out.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood, and
I didn't know someone that small had that much blood in them.
The worst thing is that I didn't really feel it. I didn't notice it.
Didn't have a headache or anything.
No.
So paramedics turn up.
Yes.
And two lovely gentlemen, and they looked at you, they treated you. By the time they'd actually got there, the hole had clotted. So what they didn't want was for them to try and. I didn't want to open it back up again because they'd already sealed. And they also said they couldn't give you stitches. Sorry about the beeping, it's the washing machine.
Yes.
Probably they couldn't give you stitches because it wasn't a cut. It wasn't like a slice. It was a hole. And they checked you for concussion. They said he's not concussed. I don't know how he's done it. He's not concussed. Anyway, filling out the forms, taking all the details. And I'm standing in the doorway with one of the paramedics, and the other paramedic goes, "Oi, get down from there!" And Nathan was back up on that fucking fence. So
somehow, in amongst all of the panic of my parents, the friends' parents, the paramedics come into the place and everything, I had somehow managed to slip past them whilst leaving a pretty noticeable trace of blood, all the way back out to the back garden, and had done the same thing again.
I had to throw those shoes away.
Yeah.
You had I think they were supposed to be white trainers.
They were blood-stained afterwards.
They were full of blood because it had literally poured down your back, all the way down your back, run through your shorts and gone to your shoes. So, yeah, throw them away. But yeah.
It's a good thing you didn't spend much money on me as a kid, in terms of clothes.
You make it sound like
No, that's always the number one rule.
Poor.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's always the number one rule that I've heard about kids. Is never buy them expensive clothes.
No, I had four boys. I had 4 boys. When you have little boys, you can never ever keep them clean. So there's no point in spending a fortune on clothes when you might as well just wear cheap and cheerful because it's going to get stained, ripped, bloody, broken, or something, or lost.
Every single time that I came back from school, there was always a new blood stain on my shirt, and the most concerning bit about it was it my blood or someone else's? And I know that paints me in quite a bad light, but I was the typical boy who wanted to fight the world at the youngest age possible, and I was always, I'm not going to say a tough kid, I was always a robust kid.
Yeah, you bounced, I know that much.
Yeah. So, I have always been the more robust one out of the 3. And, there have been a lot more instances where I've ended up splitting my head open or severing like skin, tissue, things like that. I'm
just saying, because you've got a scar up here. I can actually name most of your scars. So the one from up here was when you fell out. He was not a toddler, but like a year old. So he could stand up and walk and move and that. But he climbed out the side of his cot and fell headfirst onto a Thomas the Tank Engine train set and cut his head open.
Yeah.
You had that was glued shut. You have got a scar across the middle there. The bridge of your nose, that was where it was. I thought that was the Thomas Tank Engine. That's the Thomas Tank Engine. That one was where you actually ran full pelt into the corner of a table when you were at nursery. If you'd have been an inch to the left or the right, you'd have probably lost your eye. So that was glued.
Yep.
You have got a scar just by your nose there, and that's a chickenpox scar, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
You've got a scar in there and a scar under there. That was where you fell out of the back door when you were about 3 or 4 years old, and you went poof and screwed all that up. But the one on the back of your head from that other incident. I think there's another one on the back of your head somewhere. I can't remember what that was about.
Yeah, there's plenty of scars all over me, and if you look back at some of the face cams and some of my other videos, there have been times when even I've in the editing stage of the video have gone, fuck, you can see that scar.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of them are not visible, but like now,
The
especially
one
now
on my
with
the
facial hair.
one near my eyebrows is definitely visible.
It is visible, yeah, if you're looking for it. But I do think a lot of your hair covers a lot of them. So
I mean, most of them are like scalp or top of my head, so my hair does cover it.
You jumped off the couch, and we had. I wasn't very. We were quite poor when I had them. I didn't have a lot of money, so I literally just had a carpet laid down over the top of the concrete that was on the floor. And Nathan decided he was going to try and fly, I think. And he full pelt jumped off the couch, landed on his head on the floor. So he'd got a carpet burn as well as an egg growing out of his eye socket. I honestly thought he'd broken the orbital bone, and it was sticking out of your head here. So that was another trip to A&E. Fortunately enough, he didn't break anything.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of like issues with my like going to the hospital, stuff like that, and yeah, I was there quite a lot as a kid. It's calmed down a fair bit now, but that's because I probably won't bounce now. But
no, I just got fed up of taking you to A&E.
Yeah, so
basically said if you're going to do stupid things, drive yourself.
Yeah.
So
but
I don't care anymore. You're an adult. You can do it yourself.
Yeah. But there was another instance in the hospital that wasn't my fault. And it was when I got told, this was during 2020, by the way, so this was during the heat of COVID.
Yeah.
I had been told that I had a brain aneurysm.
Ugh, yeah.
And
6 months of my life.
Yeah, for 6 months, I was basically waiting to.
Just clarify as well, because when people say they've got a brain aneurysm,
I don't actually have one.
No. So people can live their whole lives with an aneurysm and not even know it's there. So just to explain, it is a bulging of the arteries, and they get thinner. And when they go, that is when it's dangerous. That's when people tend to die from these things. So, but Nathan, you'd collapsed. I think you'd been on a bike ride and collapsed and got taken to hospital.
I had been. During the heat of COVID, I started going for bike rides and things, mostly for my health, but also because I just wanted to get out of the house. And one of the times that I had been riding, I do not remember it. I remember it like a few seconds before I actually passed out, but I had passed out on the side of the road.
I
turned 16 in 2020.
Yeah.
So, all I remember is cycling along, and then the next minute I'm waking up with an ambulance nearby and about 9 people crowding around me.
I don't know. It was all these people had stopped because they thought you'd been hit by a car.
Yeah.
To clarify, I wasn't there.
No. That was Dad.
No, it wasn't Dad. You were on your own.
No, there was someone that ended up calling Dad because she apparently knew him.
No, you've got that round the wrong way.
That's what Dad keeps telling me.
No, she rang me.
I have no idea.
I actually knew her from. Where did I know her from? I can't remember where I knew her from now. She worked in a shop somewhere.
Either way,
she found you and rang me and said, "Oh, this is your son? Whatever. We think he's been hit by a car." So I shot down there. Rang your dad and shot down there.
I ended up being put on laughing gas and taken to the hospital. Which was a really fun experience.
Laughing gas. That's not it. You had oxygen. You had what do they call it?
Anesthesia?
No, what you have when you have a baby.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know the name, but I was put on a gas that made me very giggly and more easily able to deal with pain. And I was rushed to the hospital because even I didn't know what had actually happened. When I finally come to and came to my senses, apparently they had done a scan on my brain.
Yeah.
And I had been told grim news that I had a brain aneurysm. And at that point, because I didn't really know much about it, I was basically waiting to die.
Yeah.
And for 6 months, I was just basically curled up in bed because not only that, but it was during the heat of COVID as well.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even go out and see my friends. Or
everybody was depressed.
Yeah, I couldn't do much. And for 6 months, I was basically just waiting to die.
Yeah.
and I hated it. And just the feeling of waking up at one point and not being here was terrifying to me. So most nights I didn't sleep, and I was petrified waiting for this thing to burst. And it never did, because about 6 months later, after I got the diagnosis, we received a letter, and I remember exactly what I was doing when that letter came through.
Missing a bit.
Was that you that received the letter?
No, you're missing. Well, no, it would have come addressed to me, but no, because they done. I think they done a. So when you got taken into hospital, they did some sort of scan, and they said, "Oh, we think you've got an aneurysm." We had to then wait. I think we had to wait about 4 months to have an
MRI.
An MRI, but they needed to put staining into your blood, ink, dye, whatever.
Trust me, it's not like painful or anything. Like
they inject a dye in so they can see the arteries and the veins and things. And then you had an MRI, and then that said, no, you've got. It's almost like a loop. Instead of it being an extended part, it's like a loop. So that's what they thought was the aneurysm.
Yes. And
so we breathed a great big sigh of relief from that one.
Yes, all of my energy for life that day returned, because for 6 months continuously, I had been basically just curled up in bed, not wanting to move, and genuinely, I know that I got incredibly lucky there.
Yeah.
Because there are some people that do unfortunately have brain aneurysms, or
there's people that go their whole life, and then all of a sudden they wake up with like a migraine, and it's exploded.
And then their head's filling with blood.
Yeah, it's horrible. That's what it was. I think it was because there was that whole thing of it could happen at any time. It's almost like you had a walk-in time.
I know, there was. I would stay up for literally days and days on end just because I didn't want to take the chance of falling asleep and not being aware that it's happened.
It was horrible.
And I remember exactly what I was doing that day when we got the letter and saying that it wasn't a brain aneurysm. And it was mostly that I was sat outside one day when I'd finally dragged myself out of bed. And I had just started to really accept that I had an aneurysm. And I was outside, I sat down on the drive, and I was just basically picking up dirt and just mucking around, and wasn't really energetic at all. At the time, I wasn't living with my mum. I was living with my dad at the time.
Oh shit, yeah, you were, weren't you?
And yeah, I was just sat on his driveway, just playing with the dirt and just trying to think of what I can actually do, because obviously when you're told grim news like that, the best thing that will really come to mind is what's the most that I can do with the time I have left. And honestly, I didn't think I would make it to 21 years old at that point. But then I remember it was you came round later that night with the letter, and you passed it to me and told me to read it in front of everybody in the room. And I remember the amount of relief and joy that I felt for the first time in like 6-7-ish months, was that I didn't have a brain aneurysm. And as someone who has been not in like life-threatening situations multiple times, but as someone who has been in and out of hospital multiple times for multiple different things, that was one of the best bits of news that I have ever received from the hospital. And I think that day kind of gave me a new appreciation for life, because knowing that it could be over at any second is...
Sorry, I was trying to make light of the situation.
It does kind of look like a head exploding though.
Yeah. It's like that emoji.
So, among other topics, whether it's brain aneurysm, whether it's something as, God forbid, I hope no one gets something like cancer, something like that, do not give up, and it will get easier as time goes on.
Yeah.
And I know that we've not really had anybody who's...
I've had people I know pass away from cancer, but that's, it's what it is. As you get older, you get more and more people die, unfortunately. That's the way it is. But no, I mean, life with you growing up, having you as my son was very challenging.
Yes,
doesn't make me love you any less.
I know.
Yes, there were times when I've said this to you before. I've said it multiple times to you before. I love you, but I really don't like you at the moment.
Yeah.
And that is how it has always been, really.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. I know there are probably parents out there that would probably kicked him out or struggled and whatever else. Yes, there was a time when he did go and live with his dad, but that was because I've got mental health issues, and at the time I just could not cope with Nathan as well. So
I never said that I was an easy kid to
but
deal
I
with.
never kicked you out as such.
No.
We spoke about it, and I said that you need to go and live with your dad for a little while, because me and you were arguing a lot at that point as
there
well.
was a point when we couldn't even sit in the same room
No.
and just talk like
That's
we're doing
it.
now. It was more like as soon as one of us entered the room, the other one would start on them.
Yeah, we used to argue a lot, and I hated it because I didn't want to argue with you like that.
I hated it as well.
But then again, I think I don't know whether it's the ADHD, the autism, or what, but a lot of it was.
And to be honest,
parents are supposed to argue with their kids.
Yeah, no, and also I would just like to say I wasn't kicked out for like a year. It was originally meant to be like a week, and it ended up turning into a year because during that week COVID had hit and the lockdown had started.
No, I think we agreed for you to stay with your dad for a month. I think we
I
said
can't remember whether it was a month or a week, but
it was a month. But then COVID hit, and everyone went into lockdown.
Yeah, it wasn't a nice time at all for anybody. And I will say that was the loneliest birthday that I ever had.
I know.
And yeah, so I mean, there was a bunch of good things that did happen.
But we've had better memories since then.
Yeah.
And let's not dwell on it because
I'm not dwelling on it. I'm just saying it's a point of what has happened.
Yeah,
so I'm covering it.
We are a family that struggles with the tisms. We are a house of tisms.
I hate that phrase.
I don't care. And we are also a family that has a lot of mental health problems. And we're all some of people in our family, i.e. me and you, are very verbal about our feelings and how we are. And the trouble is, when you get two people like that, it gets complicated.
Yes, it does.
So
yeah, if there is any like 16-year-olds or something watching this, just give your mum a bit of a break because she deals with you.
And none of you come with a manual.
No, we don't, unfortunately.
I've had three boys, and you're all very different, and you all have to be treated very differently and talked to very differently, and none of you are the same. So it is difficult as a parent. You try and always do the right thing, but sometimes it's not.
You can't be 100% perfect when you're a parent. Also,
I think actually one of the things your dad has said to me before is, which surprises me when he suddenly comes out with a little bit of wisdom.
That was one for the year.
If you think you're the perfect parent, then you're the bad parent, because a parent will always try to do better. No, but if you think you're the perfect parent, you're not.
It's a good way of saying that.
So it is difficult being a parent, especially to a child with ADHD, autism, mental health problems and things like that. It is very difficult as a parent, but I always try and put you three first. And all three of you are still living here under my roof.
Yeah, because buying a house nowadays is impossible.
Yes, we know.
Or even renting a house nowadays is virtually impossible.
But all three of you want to be around me and Paul and your dad and Kate and and people in your lives, and you will always talk to us. You'll always tell us what's going on, and I think between all of us over time we have got a good friendship now and a good relationship. So I mean, there are times when you drive me freaking insane, and now you're adult.
There are also times when Liam drives you insane.
Yes, there is, all three of you. But
I mean, the youngest one has recently turned 18, so we're all legally classed as adults.
Got you all to adulthood, and
yeah.
None of you died.
There have been a few close calls.
But yeah, my job here is done.
Yeah, we'll cover the close calls in another video. But yeah, so hopefully this video has given you a bit more insight into who I actually am. And fucking Simpsons now?
Yeah, well.
I'm probably going to get fucking sued for saying that. But no, the like 7-8 years, because the channel is now coming up about 8 years old. I think it's coming up 8 years old in about halfway halfway through this month, actually.
I hate that bit of hair.
Thanks.
There's always another scar there. Where's that one from?
I have no fucking idea.
Oh, right down there.
They just fucking appear. But yeah, the channel is soon to come up to be about 8 years old, and the entire time that I've recorded videos, be it some of my older terrible ones, be it some of my newer better ones,
with a dodgy camera.
Yeah, I've got to get a new camera sorted. But yeah, the past 8 years, because I started this channel back when I was 13, roughly.
Oh,
13.
itty bitty 13-year-old.
No, I would have been 15 actually. Thinking about
You
it.
said 8 years.
Yeah.
So you're 21. Take 8 from 21.
Yeah, it would have been around. Yeah, 13. I would have been like 13 or no, I would have been 14 because it started in November.
Right. Okay.
So I was 14 when this channel first started, and I used to post videos on this like 4 times a day because I remember I always used to nick your phone to record them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I ended up doing this YouTube thing to a sort of like a creative outlet for me, because this is my sort of creativity level where I can make videos about games that I love, games that I hate, and do streaming considerably afterwards. And I do think that YouTube has helped me, not only to grow in a creative way, as in it has helped me outlet a lot of my emotions. Like, we used to have 2 dogs. I say used to because within the past few years they have both unfortunately passed.
Yeah.
And there was actually a video that I filmed the day after our dog Dexter had passed away. And that was the Atom Fall video that I did. And even in the beginning of that video, I literally said that it was going to be a bit more of a slower video because I was still greatly depressed from that. I will, right now, I don't know whether I would have chucked any other pictures up throughout the video, but I will chuck up some of the pictures that I took of him.
I'll send you some pictures of him as well.
I've got pictures and videos of him.
Pictures of Tyler as well. We do have another dog.
Yeah, he's currently asleep over there.
He is actually one of Nathan's grandparents passed away a couple of years ago, and he was hers. And we're looking after him until he can be with her. He is an old boy. He's snoring away on the couch at the moment.
He is the same age. He is older now than Dexter was when he passed.
Yeah, he's 14. He's got no teeth.
No, he is very much the typical needs dentures sort of dog. And he will always be the little fluff ball, but they can live. His type of breed can live for.
We were told 18.
A while.
But yeah, he is healthy. It's just he did have a lot of dental problems, so he ended up having to have his teeth taken out.
It was because he was fed like a human, not a dog.
Yeah, he was fed like a baby. But he's my little follower, so we do have another dog. But he's not officially ours. We're just looking after him at the moment. But yes, he is snoring very loudly on the couch.
And yeah, we've had a bunch of pets. Maybe we'll do another video of these where it's purely talking about the pets.
Yeah, I've got pictures of most of our pets. So we've had dagoos, we've had rats, we've had dogs, cats.
We had a snake for a brief period.
We had a snake for a little while, but I actually rehomed her with someone who knows how to look after her properly. So
and you've also nursed things like baby squirrels to health and stuff.
Baby squirrels. Tried to save a goose the other day, but unfortunately we couldn't save it. Big Canada goose.
Yeah.
Huge it was. It was bigger than Pom.
Yeah. That's the dog's name, by the way, is Pom.
Pom. Lord Pom Pom. He also gets called Pomus the Tank Engine. Pomme de terre, which is French for potato. So
I call him little shit.
He gets called Bear. He gets called. Oh, we've been calling him Pumpkin as well.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a pumpkin.
He is.
Or a pumpkin.
I know, he is off camera at the moment. He's
yeah,
kind of
that's
like
why I keep looking over there.
He is a bright ginger fluffy dog, and yeah, he's a little munchkin at his best. But
I was gonna, the little sprout that sticks up on the top of his head.
Yeah.
I was contemplating dyeing that green, so he actually looked like a pumpkin.
He's got like this one little bit of hair that kind of like just sticks up like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a bit weird, but we do love him.
He's quite dark, isn't it, that video?
Yeah, I can turn the brightness up in editing, it's fine. But yeah, so...
Do you want to talk about anything else?
No, this video was mostly just to, I guess, sort of show off the more human side of me rather than what they see in my videos, which is much more just mass murdering shit.
that mean when you walk out the door, you're going to sort of unzip your human suit and go back to being the
a little bit, yeah,
little gremlin that you are?
I mean, I haven't done a Halloween video, so I need to get a horror video sorted.
No, we've decided as well. We decided, didn't we? We are going to do a fancy dress party for Christmas. But
you can't go
dress
as anything Christmas related.
Christmas themed. So it can be anything as long as it's not Christmas themed.
So you may see a little vlog of that when it happens.
If it happens.
But yeah. So yeah, this video was purely one to get her back on the channel because it's been a while, and
I avoid technology.
Yeah, and two because I just wanted to kind of put a little bit more of my life out and make more of a little bit of a bond, shall I say? And he's up.
You alright, mate?
He's got an antenna. His hair kind of makes it look like he's got really exaggerated eyebrows.
I know. You alright, Bombers?
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, well.
Oh.
But yeah, so there may be another part to this where, as I said, we talk about like the pets that we've had, or just some other weird stories that end up coming to mind. And as I said, if at any point there may not be a lot, but there may be some pictures that show up like over here-ish, and or above her or me or down this side. When
you put a picture in there?
Probably, I'm not entirely sure what of, but there'll be something there. But yeah, there'll be some pictures up, and just for the outro, I will chuck up some pictures of the dogs that we've had. It's the bit that kind of segues into the end of the video.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be this point where there'll be pictures and things like that.
Okay.
It'll just be as we're talking, and then roundabout now-ish. So there we go.
Bye.
Bye.